Hello, hello, hello. I think I need to fix my mic. One moment. That's probably better. Hello, good evening. Let me know if I still sound quiet, but I think this should be good. Hello, hello. Welcome, Milliardo Beercraft. Evening, dear. Good evening, darling. Hello, hi to Bar One Studios and Bradford Walker. Hello to Torrent. Late night energy drinks really mess me up too. Yeah. Hello there, Raid Man. Hello there, Magic. You sound good. Excellent, excellent. Alright, sweet, yeah. Well, hello, all you late night people. It's currently 2 a.m. for me. I have to end stream at 3 a.m. That's a hard line. I must do it. But I knew I wasn't gonna fall asleep yet, so since I'm back, here I am. We had a we road tripped. It was pretty smooth. The last 3 hours, kids were asleep, and I got to just like drive and listen to music. I was contemplating a lot of things. It was nice to have some time to just kind of think, let my brain roam around. So I had a lot of thoughts knocking around in the noggin. So I figured I'd let them out on the internet. Late night caffeinated Minna, let's go! I think I had the energy drink. I forget when I started drinking it. I was sipping on it probably between like 9 and 12, something like that. Cool new emotes, by the way. Ah, yes. Glad you guys like it. I had I think it was like 9 emotes plus the little mitten to signify members and such. I commissioned those a while ago, and when I finally got, you know, memberships open, it was like you can only put 4 emotes in until you have like more members. So now that I think we've got like 90 members now, which is wild. It's crazy. So I put in the rest of the emotes I have. So yay! Lots of really cute ones in there. So yeah, let's see. Here, I want to hear my music. I want to hear my BGM. Let me fix this. Wonder why. Let's see. Oh, maybe I just don't have it up enough to hear it. I want to hear my BGM. I don't know why I can't hear it. I don't know. Audio stuff is kind of hard sometimes. A little bit. Maybe I'll just put in my own music in my ear. I'll do that instead. But yeah, so trying to think what I should talk about first, or what I should talk about really. Here, I'm gonna give myself some music real quick though. What are you guys doing up though? There's a lot of you guys up. Hello, Felix. You gotta set up the audio to monitor and play through. I thought I did. The monitor and output is what I have it set to, but for some reason I can't hear it. Usually that works. What have you been up to this week? I went to see more family. It was really nice. Got to go see more family, spend time with them, let the boys hang out with them, you know, all that fun stuff. So we had a really nice week. It was very chill, just kind of hanging out, doing some fun things with the kids and family and all that. So it was really nice. It was a nice little kind of reset. In a way, like being with my family at the farm, I have a lot of support with the kids, and I'm also like got support like trying to, especially since I'm here for so long, you know, having time to work on my projects and stuff. Whereas since we just had a week with more family, I focus on just hanging out with the boys and with the family and stuff. So it was kind of a nice reset in a different way. I think I'll talk this topic first. I'm gonna give myself some music real quick. Come on, music. There's ads though. Oh well, I'll just listen to my own music. You guys can hear the BGM though, right? See, Raid Man, I'm just getting home from work. Well, hopefully you can get some good rest after work. Hello there. Ooh, Yukani Hayo, I think. I'm really bad with trying to read names. I see some new names though. Hiya, hello there. Exxon Guko, I think. Hello there, USS Liberty incident. Hi Minna, how goes the caffeine? It's not that bad. Like, I'm not like caffeine jittery, I just know I'm not sleepy yet. And I wanted to be able to get a stream in. Because, well, okay, so one thing is I'm gonna be weaning Dough Baby. And so I'm coming back, I'm like, oh yeah, break's over, but also not quite over, because while I'm like fully weaning Dough Baby, I'm not gonna like expect any streams from myself, just because we gotta get used to kind of a new bedtime routine. But I wanted to fit a little stream in. But yeah, I don't know, this is just kind of this is a note from present Minna to future Minna. I don't know, it's a bit bittersweet when your breastfeeding journey comes to an end. Now's a good time, like different things. I'm like, okay, this is the right time for this. Looking forward to a little bit of a break and such. But it's also like, man, it's kind of sad. It's so handy. Being able to nurse is so handy for toddlers. But also, it'll be kind of nice to have it out of the picture in a way. So, I don't know. This is a note from present Minna to future Minna. It'll be okay. Might be a few sad days, you know, getting used to it. But it'll be fine. It'll be all good. So, but yeah, so fingers crossed, hopefully goes smoothly, settle into a new routine, and then I'll get back to trying to have my streaming schedule and stuff once we've kind of settled into that. Shouldn't take more than a week to really settle in, hopefully. So let's see. Does it feel like a special bond with your child when you do that breastfeeding? Yeah, definitely. Like, so it's funny sometimes, like, even as he's become a toddler, there's sometimes I'll like lay down to nurse him to sleep, and I can just feel the I think it's mostly like oxytocin and such, the little bonding hormones, and just like snuggle. Yeah, it is also very convenient, you're right. And you, like, if they're really tired, you need them to sleep, if they got boo-boos, and like, it's not like, it's funny too, because most, I think a majority of people wean after a year. Technically I think whatever World Health Organization, they recommend up to 2 years. It's also funny, like, it seems like certain generations, like I see in like breastfeeding pages, where a baby will be like 6 months old in the family, like the grandparents are pressuring the parents to be like, aren't you gonna wean? And it's like, it's kind of silly. Anyway, but I don't know, it's really up to mom and baby how long they want to breastfeed. It's been very smooth. I'm very grateful. It's been very smooth breastfeeding journeys with me and my kids. It can be really hard. It can be so hard. And what was I gonna say? Oh, it's not like, at a certain point the baby needs more than just milk. I think it's like mostly between like 10 and 12 months, they definitely like need more than just milk, I think. But also it's not like the milk suddenly isn't beneficial. You still get the antibiotics and, other good benefits and such. But yeah, anyways, I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful for all the good milk I've been able to provide the kids. But it's like, it'll be good. Like, I just gotta get past the weaning part. It'll be good. It'll be a good break. Body needs a good break. I'll kind of miss it though. It's like, it's the end of a chapter. I'll get a bit more of my, like, I won't have to, like, constantly be thinking about my clothes needing to be accessible. But yeah, it's a little bittersweet. Close of a chapter, but, you know, new fun things await, so. Wow, a late night Minna stream. What a treat. Yes, yes. Hello, wild dog. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah. I'm gonna make myself end at 3. But I just got back from a road trip, and I knew I wasn't gonna be sleepy, and I wanted to stream. So, here I am. You ready to get another bun in the oven? No. Not yet, not yet. Need a little bit more of a break. Like, yeah, no, there's no rush. Thankfully, I got married young and started having babies young, so I got lots of time. There's plenty enough happening between the 2 boys, so I sincerely hope there'll be more kids in the future. But I'm not in a rush right now, so now's the time for kind of, I don't know, rest and recoup in a way. I want to make sure because you deplete a lot in pregnancy and breastfeeding. Just, you know, the baby, like when a baby's growing, it's drawing everything from you, like all the things it needs, so I want to make sure my vitamins and cells and minerals and everything are restored. You know, make sure my body is strong, so I can continue having lots of healthy babies in the future. But let's see. I'm sure you're aware, but how do you say that? AFAK, AFAIK. It's so much better to breastfeed than to give baby a soy-based formula. The nutrients, etc., are so vital to proper brain development. I am very grateful. I think there's always like the phrase of like, fed is best, or people say like breast is best, and it's like, you know, objectively, yes, breast milk would be is the best, especially from the mother. You know, that's how it's designed. It's both fortunate that we have the ability to have formula, and also kind of sucks that, yeah, a lot of it's soy based. But yeah. Let's see. Are you and Milliardo still living in Japan? Yes. Right now I'm just on a long trip home. It's a long flight going across the world, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home and visit for a while. So that's what I'm doing, having a nice long visit. And okay, so one thing I've been contemplating on my drive, let me just make sure I didn't miss any chats. But it's so different having people around. Like, it's when it's just me and the kids, you know, on our usual, you know, when I'm not visiting family, and our usual day is, you know, hanging out, me and the kids, trying to go about our day, taking care of the kids in the house, trying to feed us, trying to manage everything. And, you know, Milliardo comes home in the evening, and then the evening just goes by in like a blink, because it's like he gets home, we're trying to do dinner, trying to do bedtime, and then it's like, it's exhausting sometimes. And being here, where it's like, all I have to do is really focus on me and the boys. I'm not having to keep up with the house. I've got the extra hands, you know, especially if one of them's fussy. Just having the presence of other people around, even just to be able to chat to, is a world of difference. It's crazy. It makes me happy to know that despite the troubles of the world, you guys are able to raise such a lovely family. I'm glad I can bring some hope to the internet. I'm very grateful for my little life and my little family, for sure. And, you know, not only like my immediate family, you know, Milliardo and the boys, but, you know, my parents, his parents. It's healthy families all around, which is very nice, very helpful. Let me go back over here. So, hopefully I'll get sleepy while I talk, but man, it's so different. It makes me realize, I'm getting something in my eye. I'm rubbing my eye, I'm getting something in it. It makes me realize like how burned out I was most of the time. Like, okay, so there's like a saying, I don't know who said it first, but it's a good saying of like, it's not raising the kids or like tending to the kids that's the hard part. It's trying to do anything else while tending to kids. That's the hard part of parenting and raising kids. Like, if all you have to do is tend to the kids, it's so much easier. Oh, it's so much easier. But when you're also having to tend to the house and everything else, that's when it's hard. That's when it's so much harder. It's way better than munching black pills. Yeah, gotta have hope. Don't give up, guys. You gotta have hope. Have hope. It's better to have hope than not have hope, I think. So, yeah, I feel like it's like a motherhood reset to me, this trip, because it's, you know, several months with family and support. It's such a breath of fresh air. It's so much easier to stay regulated when you're not, like, fried all the time. Like, you know, how I'm able to handle the kids when I've got the support versus when I'm kind of, like, frazzled. You know, my patience is a lot easier when I have the support and the extra hands around. I'm able to stay more regulated myself, so it's easier to help them stay regulated. Not to mention, like, having all the space at the farm to run around. We're not, like, trapped in a box together like it feels like sometimes. So, I'm trying to take this time to really focus on, like, the daily habits I want to bring back with me. Of, like, you know, hammering down good, consistent meal times. I like cooking dinner, like, dinner is so hard to get on time. I don't know, we're all night owls. Like Milliardo and I especially. And the kids tend to fall into that too. Maybe just because we're all night owls. So, it's so hard for me to get dinner done earlier, and it would be it would be better if I could get it done before Milliardo gets home, because otherwise he gets home and then it's, you know, he's home and then we're trying to juggle the kids. I'm trying to get dinner, we're trying to eat, we're trying to get, I don't know, it's just it would be much easier. I feel like it would go smoother if I had dinner done earlier. But and I know there's been times where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start dinner at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and then it's like the witching hour, and it's like both kids are clinging to me or falling apart, and it's like, well, I didn't get anything. I wasn't able to do that. But I don't know. I'm just like, our modern society, where it's like isolated to just like, I think most people, especially, you know, for us, we live far away, so it's hard to have support all the time from family. But there's a lot of people that their family isn't supportive even if they're close by, or they can't trust them, or I don't know, different situations where they don't have the support, and it's like only the parents and the kids, and that is like trying to raise a family on hard mode. Like, I don't feel like we're designed to do that. It's just so hard, and can be very isolating. Like, you know, especially like if you're a stay-at-home mom, it can be really isolating. If you're a working mom, then you're, you know, trying to juggle 2 big things at once. Like, tending to kids in the home is a full-time job, and then having another job is, you know, another job. So it's very hard. I can imagine it's very hard finding the balance there. But then a lot of people, a lot of women have said it's easier going to work and then coming home, even though a lot of times, like, they still take on a majority of the house. But you get a mental break, because if you're a stay-at-home mom, it's like 24/7, and you have to really carve out time to be able to turn off, like, your mom brain. Otherwise, it's just relentless, and there's always something, and it's always present. Like, your work is always in front of your face, because there's always something in the house to be cleaned, especially with small kids. Like, it's the visual overstimulation of, like, a messy house can be so overwhelming, but it's also hard to keep up with when you've got kids at home. You know, especially if, like, kids are in school or daycare and parents are working, you come home and the house hasn't really been messed with except for when you're there. But then if you're home all day, then it's like things are getting destroyed all the time. It helps to get the kids out of the house, but then sometimes it's exhausting trying to get kids out of the house. So, and you're, you know, especially the stay-at-home parent, you're the default parent. And so, especially with little kids, it's hard. You got to work really hard to get mental space and like break. But yeah, being here with family is like, wow, it's so different. It's so nice. So I'm trying to focus on the projects I want to do and focus on, you know, different habits and things with just little daily habits and tending to the kids and, you know, things that I want to work on to be able to take back to Japan with me when it's just me and the kids most of the time again. Let's see. Preparing a meal like that is rough. Meals, man, food, trying to feed these kids, especially picky eaters, is hard. It's really hard. It can be very, like, exhausting. Emotionally in a way, too. Just trying to do your best for them and for you and everything. That's unfortunate when that happens. I was halfway raised by my grandparents since my folks both worked late. I wish it wasn't financially necessary for both parents to have to work. It would be nice to be able to dedicate 8 hours per day to raise kids. I've heard there's a lot of places in other countries that have like maternity leave for like, you know, like a year, or there's like a stipend to support like stay-at-home moms. And it's like, I don't know, you know, there's a give and take to everything, so I don't know like what their taxes are and stuff, but it definitely sucks that in the States, I don't know, things, I'm very fortunate, I'm very thankful, we're in a position where I can stay home with the kids. I know a lot of people struggle with that, but it's also hard because daycare is ridiculously expensive, so it's hard to even find a job that it's worth it to, you know, that all your paycheck isn't just going to like daycare and stuff. There's a lot of nuance to it, but it is very unfortunate. It just contributes to the, I mean, families are, you know, a pillar in society. Like, we need strong families, and it's become harder and harder for people, I think, which is very sad. The best part of having a big family was learning how to tolerate the mess. yeah, my my family is very much like controlled chaos. And it's like, I don't know, there's a give and take, because, you know, you're not gonna have a spotless home. Not gonna happen. Your rooms will take turns being clean. You know, you just try and keep, things are probably gonna get cluttered and messy, but, you know, there's a difference between like messy and dirty. It's hilarious seeing like Instagram videos where it's like, you know, it's obviously the kid's been playing in the living room and there's just toys all over the living room, and people are like, oh my gosh, how could you have such a messy house? Clean up your house. And it's like, other comments are like, the people that don't have kids are so obvious. This was obviously like 2 seconds of a toddler dumping out toy buckets. Anyway, but also, I'm like, I want to, if I can, I've been like, you know, constantly trying to declutter. I think I'm like probably like 90%. I've gotten really close to finally having like all of the house set up and things where they need to go, and like staying on top of decluttering. And there's like a little bit left, but I think I'm at a better place, and especially for like toys. Like, there's this one, you know, Instagram that her whole thing is talking about fostering independent play, and a big thing for independent play is setting up the space. And so having a better visual space, having only like, you know, I think she was like recommended like 6 to 10 toys out, having them at eye level, you know, having things more tight, you know, having it a more inviting space and easier for kids to like go and play, where it's not just a whole bunch of toys overwhelming them. So, I want to get that better set up. Yeah, having less things in the house definitely helps keep it clean. I don't know, it's like a balance of like, things are going to get messy, but also the mess can be so incredibly overwhelming and burnout inducing when it's just constant visual clutter everywhere and you feel like you're going crazy because you can't feel like you can't do anything about it. And so it's nice being able to like keep up with it, but also give yourself a lot of grace. But it's also really nice when there's a bunch of other grown-ups around and you don't have to like worry about dishes and things, and you can focus on just you and the kids. It's so nice. It's so nice. Let's see. Having that kind of support would be great. Is great. Yeah, it's so nice. So nice. I love it. It's great. grew up with 5 siblings. My mom had 6 kids. House was rarely clean, but there was never a physical labor chore that wasn't tasked to one of us boys. I'm same. There's 6 of us total. So yeah, at a certain point, yeah, you kind of get them spaced out. You kind of get the kids rolling out. At a certain point, you got like a whole little team. So like right now with 2 young kids, where they're not really at that point yet. I call it the trenches. You're in the trenches because sometimes it's just survival mode. And then hopefully, like the goal is to foster their sense of like place in the family, of like they're important, they have a contribution. Like there's this one book, I'll probably do a stream talking about it once I finish it, called Hunt Gather Parent, and it was talking about like in the States, we had this big shift to like focusing on like really like lots of academics for the kids, or like educational choice and different things. And an interesting point they made was a lot of it was from around the Cold War, when it was like really trying to push like our superiority to Russia and trying to make like really smart kids and stuff. And in the book, the lady is going around to all these kind of smaller villages and sort of indigenous people and such, and kind of seeing how they operate, how they take care of their kids, how they're integrated into the little community there. And I know like in the first place she went to, the big takeaway she got was how much it's like, we're all a part of this, you know, instead of being like, your job as a kid is to play, you know, just go over and play, get out of my way while I do the chores. Because toddlers want to help. And so they really fostered that from a young age of like, hey, you have a contribution, you can join in with this, you know, come alongside me. So I'm trying to take that approach as much as I can. And then hopefully as they grow, because yeah, I mean, by the time we went to the farm, us 3 bigger ones were like young teens-ish, kind of, you know, in that range. And yeah, so took care of the waters, took care of animals. Me and Rocky were mostly the ones doing kitchen duty. Most of the time we were goofing off, but which you know, got the dishwasher loaded, you know, wiped down the counters, mostly, you know, things like that. We weren't the most diligent, but you know, we were okay. We were probably okay. Let's see. Kids are also free labor, but joking aside, it's important to emphasize how kids can help a family to succeed. Yeah. I remember there were anti-communist ads when I was like 6 in Taiwan. It's very interesting times. Children want to be, if not adults, bigger kids. They know that older people get to do more, and the worst insult to a child is to call them a baby. Yeah. It's interesting because I think that book, The Hunt Gather Parent, they'll use the like that kind of feeling to kind of help spur the kid to step up. But then of course there's like the gentle parenting side, you know, thought where they don't want to. They want the child to be more internally motivated, not so externally motivated by those kinds of things. I don't know. It's a balance of things. I can't wait to get Mom on to get her to talk about some parenting stuff. Hi, Miss Vanilla. Hope you sleep snug tonight. Thank you. Hopefully, hopefully I can wind down for bed. But let's see. So, yeah, one big train of thought as I was driving was, I mean, I've kind of been feeling this, you know, over the trip of just like, man, it's so hard when it's just me all day with the kids. It's so hard. And so, yeah, trying to really, and there's so many things I want to work on. So hard finding the balance. And like, I keep getting motivated, like the past like week or two, I'm like, man, got really motivated wanting to work with the horses. Or now I'm like, man, I'm really motivated, I want to write. And then I'm like, man, I'm really motivated, I want to do like streams and record some like songs and covers. There's too much I want to do. It's like so hard to find the balance. And I try and think of like, how can I set up my days and my schedules? Like, should I assign certain days for certain things? Like on these days I stream, on these days I edit videos, on these days I write. And, you know, most of that is kind of shoved into nighttime, you know. Or yeah, how do I set my day? Or should I focus like weeks at a time, like take a month and break it up into like this week I focus on writing, and so that way I can have my brain all kind of wrapped around that, and then switch to like, right now I'm focusing on, you know, editing a bunch of videos. I'm not sure, maybe I'll experiment a bit, because part of me thinks if I do weeks at a time, then I'm able to kind of dig in a bit more. But then if I have like a really busy week, then whatever was supposed to happen that week kind of gets pushed to the side. I mean, things get pushed to the side all the time anyway. Let's see. There are communist posters all over my campus. Oh no, Mono. Oh no. I want to make a joke about helicopters, but I shouldn't. Okay. I work a haunted attraction this time of year. Big test of kids, especially young boys. The desire to be brave is prove yourself, a big accomplishment. Yeah, I can see that. That's gotta be kind of that's gotta be a fun gig. I don't like horror stuff. Anything like super scary. I remember going through like a haunted house thing, I think before the boys came around. And I laughed the whole time. I don't know why that was my reaction. Like, it was just like a small little setup thing. It wasn't like it was like a work thing. Milliardo's workplace like put on a little Halloween thing. But I laughed during it. I don't know, but I don't intentionally seek out that kind of stuff. I don't know. Since becoming a mom, my desire to go for an adrenaline rush is lower, just because I don't know, mom brain's on most of the time. It's hard to turn off mom brain. I don't know, maybe at some point if the kids are bigger, where they're not in this like small stage where it's like I'm kind of the center of their universe, you know, maybe my more adventurous side will come out. Here's the thing, is like on the drive, I was really enjoying just having like time, like my mind just be, and like listening to music. I was trying really hard to get back in touch with my imaginary friends. And it's hard because like any other time that I'm like carving out time, it's hard not to see the countdown, or like know that the kids are, if they're asleep, it's easier to turn off mom brain because it's like they're asleep. But even if they're like with people and I've like, you know, they're at the farm and I've popped over to the other house to do some writing, it's still like the ticking time is still there in my head, because I know I'll need to get back to them. It's hard to shut that off. When they're asleep, I can shut it off. So like when I was driving and they were asleep, it's like, okay, they're good. They don't need me. You know, they're fine. They're asleep. I can just kind of let my mind wander. It's trying to... I used to have like my characters in my head all the time. When I'd go, like, man, I appreciate so much growing up on the farm. And every day I'd have to go fill up the water troughs. Sometimes I'd be kind of late getting out to it. But, you know, every day I had to go outside. It was good. Even like when it was really cold. When it was winter, I'd be outside longer because I'd be having to like, you know, give extra hay or feed or check on things, breaking the ice on the water troughs. But man, so many times of like going out to the backwoods, singing, coming up with songs or imaginary scenarios while I filled up the water troughs. There's like this one wood area that I would love to like walk through and have this one story that I'd imagine. I'd have my characters in my head all the time, and now it feels like there's always a ticking time. There's always the to-do list. The to-do list is just like crushing all of my characters, and I can't hear them as well anymore. And I want to hear them. I want to give my mind room. And a big problem is me. What's that? How's it go? It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. That's you know, I'm the biggest obstacle to my goals. Oh, I hate wasting time, but I'm also like, oh, it's so easy to waste time. It's hard. Like, I want to focus on like work hard, play hard. Like, focus on working, but also like be intentional with like what I'm wanting to work on, but also be intentional with my resting time. But it's hard to do that because my habit is wanting to like veg and like turn off my brain for a bit. And it's like I would feel more rested if I like did some reading or something in that time instead of scrolling videos, because I wish there was a way to turn off all of the videos, like the the swiping videos. I wish there was a way to turn it off. Like I can time out my apps, but then I can just change the timer. But I went back to using this app I used a while ago that's called Forest, I think, where you plant a tree, you set the timer and it plants a tree. And then you have a certain list of, you can list apps that you can use, but then you have apps that you can't use there during that time. So then if you try and click on those apps, because a lot of times it's like just habit of clicking on the apps, then a little thing will pop up like, oh, if you want to go in this app, you have to kill your tree. And that helps to deter it a little bit. I also kind of want to rearrange the apps on my phone to like put, YouTube and Instagram, like I have to like swipe several places. And like the willpower book, which I need to write down notes and do a stream about, talks a lot about your habits is how you set up your environment. So I want to do things to set up my environment better. Like when I go back to Japan, like when I'm like trying to get stuff done, I feel like I have to entertain myself to get things done. And I don't like that because then I've got my phone, then I tend to be on my phone. And it's like I love listening to streams, but it's also not giving my brain room to breathe. And it's, that's usually not a problem, but still kind of extra noise or distraction as I'm trying to do things. We have a nice record player and a ton of records. So when I get back to Japan, one thing I want to do is try and be like, I don't know, I need to find other times, like not mix as much of my like relaxing time with my working time or like my entertainment time with my working time. I should use the records when I'm doing chores and stuff because, I need to enjoy the records. And then it's like, I'm not always good at like judging time in a way. And so like having to flip the records will kind of remind me, kind of give me a better feedback, I guess, on the time that it's taking to do things. So things like that. I need to give my mind room to breathe because I need to give my characters room to bounce around in my head. I used to like sit and daydream all the time. I'd write a lot too, but I like to say I have my my fanfic. I'm glad I didn't write any of it down. I would just daydream it. Do you guys want to know who my fictional crushes were? I might tell you. I just like sit and daydream scenarios, but it was usually like adventure stories with them. Like maybe there'd be a kiss here or there, where it's like I thought he died, but then like suddenly I'm walking down the street and I'm pulled into an alley and he's there and he's back and it's like, oh, he's back. Oh no, I'm telling this to the internet. The internet's scary. Here, let me look at chats. I don't know how to talk and keep up with chats at the same time. I need to get better at that. Let's see. My NPC blocks those people mentally. Oh yeah. Someone put a Soy Jack sticker on top of a communist poster at my college. Oh man. Fun. Let's see. This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. But be how now. Gonna let the light shine on me. Do I know that song? Oh, I know that song, but I can't place the music to it. You turn it off by not swiping, but that's a good app. The thumb just keeps going. It drives me crazy. The problem is chat. I don't know if you can tell, I have a very obstinate side. And it's so bad that, like, I mean, I've chilled. I've chilled a little bit. My mom can tell plenty of stories of my obstinate side. But it works against me because if I tell myself, to myself in my mind, I'm like, I am stopping after this video, or I need to text these friends, or I need to go through these pictures. If I tell myself something directly like that, it is guaranteed I will not do it. I gotta like trick myself somehow, because if I tell myself to do something, then I'm not gonna do it. I don't know how to fix that. Let's see. No, not the tree. I forget what tree we were talking about. Everyone get addicted to constant sound. It's hard to just dream anymore. Yeah. So you never had a Twilight phase? No, I was kind of like, I kind of turned my nose up at Twilight. Let's see, yeah, I was pretty tomboyish. And, you know, maybe a little bit of, I'm not like other girls, not in like an obvious way, but I mean, I'm sure we all have felt that a little bit where, well, it was mostly I wasn't interested in it, and it was like, I don't know, it was mostly I wasn't really interested in it, and so I kind of, like, not too much. I remember going to a sleepover where my friend was really into it, and mom was like, just go along with it, just watch the movie. Don't make a fuss about it, it's fine. I mean, yeah, they're whatever. I didn't have a Twilight phase, you know, really, like, I watched it, I think at one point on YouTube, looking back, I realized it was like a Twilight fanfic, and I was into it, but then it started getting more fanficky, and I was like, nope, I'm out. Nope, I'm out. Minna, how's it going? It's going pretty good. I told myself I have to sleep at 3. But again, if I tell myself to do something, then I'm not gonna do it. It's a problem. BRB hiding in an alley near you. Oh no, Milliardo. I better be careful about walking by alleys if you're hiding in them. I might get smooched. Can't have that now. I'm a say-so idol. Is Minna writing erotic fanfiction? No. Never written anything like that. No. My fanfic in my head, okay, the fanfic in my head was like, okay, so it was, Tintin and Artemis Fowl were my biggest fictional crushes. And my daydreams were going on adventures with them. And like, yeah, no, there was like maybe a kiss, that was it. At some point. But thankfully it's all in my head. It's never been written down. So that's the extent. But I also, you know, had all my, I had other random stories in my head, and then had, you know, the ones I was working on. But just, man, having, well, one, being a kid, not having the crushing weight of responsibility. I had responsibilities, but it's not the same. Of having, let's see, that's the other thing that I love about being homeschooled, is I had the time when I was a teen to daydream and write and work on my writing skills. I feel like I was able to, like, develop that skill while I was a teen. Now I'm busy with kids and stuff, but it's still there. I'm digging it back out. First time on your stream, your voice and model is nice. I heard Pippa is your mama. I love what I see. Subscribed. Oh, thank you. Welcome in. How do you say it? I'm bad at reading. At least usernames are extra complicated. Anyway, Yui Tachibana-chan? Welcome. Glad you found me. Yes, Pippa is my mama. She's great. I love her. She's really cool. We got to talk about horses. Hopefully we can talk about horses again, because that was really, really fun. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm her with my very talkative nature and all my stories. But I think she enjoyed all the horse stories, so I'm glad. Hopefully we can... I definitely want to watch some horse videos with her. That would be fun. So, the tree app. Oh, the tree app, yeah. I think it's called Forest. I'll double check real quick. But I need to move a few apps around, so the ones that I should be using are easy to click, and the apps I shouldn't be using are hard to click. Let's see. Here's what Twilight did for the world. Hear me out. I'm ready. I'm listening. Now, okay, my friend, Jaji, who's an author, very good author, very good editor. It's funny because she'll very much defend Twilight, because she's like, it was very good for its genre. Like, in its genre, it was really good, like, well written, which says a lot about the genre. Like, I don't hate Twilight. I definitely wasn't into it when it was first coming out, though. I'm still not really into it. Let's see. Came here from your recent Pippa collab. Wish you all the support. Thank you. Philip, Gunels, I think? Welcome. I'm glad. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up on chat. Let's see. Same every time I tell myself or others I will go to bed earlier, I end up not being able to sleep until around 4 a.m. Oh, yeah. There's been times I haven't, like... I hate when I, like, stay up a little bit too late, and then you're kind of past the point of no return, and then it's like, now I can't fall asleep, and it's 6 a.m., and the kids are gonna get up in, like, 3 hours, and I'll have to function. It happens sometimes. Back around 2000 or so, there was a big debate over whether Harry Potter was legitimate literature. Interesting. You were the one girl that liked shonen? Like shonen anime or manga? Because I wasn't aware of it back then. It wasn't until like I was in my teens that I was more aware of anime. Very like vague, you know, just like a little bit here and there. Did you ever have a romance arc? Like I grew up reading Nicholas Sparks books and watching Hallmark movies. Let me think about that. I think I'm in my romance arc because I love reading all the cute romantic webcomics. I think the most like romance I read, mostly as a teen, was Jane Austen. I think it was only mostly Pride and Prejudice. But man, Pride and Prejudice is so good. Need to watch the movie again. I have like I got an audio collection of like a bunch of her stories. And so I've read a lot of them at this point, but since I like absorbed them all at once, I'm bad at remembering like which characters go to which stories. People had to defend Harry Potter by saying it gets kids reading, but people said kids shouldn't read stuff that's dumbed down for them. I'm sure people have been having this conversation for, like, all of history. Like, I mean, for example, in a lot of, like, Jane Austen books, any sort of novels were looked down on. You know, Pulp Fiction was looked down on. Doesn't mean, like, it's... I don't know what definition of literature they're using. There's definitely a place for, entertaining, literature, you know? Yeah, let me make sure I'm caught up. Let's see. Do it. Sleep at 3. You won't. No balls. Ah, yeah. Reverse. You gotta trick me. Reverse psychology. Tell me. No, you gotta tell me not to sleep at 3 a.m. and then I'll sleep. Twilight reset the scale. After Twilight came along, Harry Potter became high literature. Oh man. Based Artemis Fowl appreciator. I learned the Elvish font. Okay, wait, I gotta rant about Artemis Fowl in a second. Artemis Fowl is such a flashback. Oh, everyone had fantasies like that. That's neural means you're a creative person. Artemis Fowl movie was so bad, such a shame. I knew it was gonna be bad. I did not touch it. Did not touch it. Pippa is love. Pippa is love. I love my mama. She's great. She's such a cool person. I think Pippa is just a really neat, cool, like, genuine-hearted person. Let's see. I have questions as how that slop was good, but to each their own. you gotta see what it's compared to in the genre, I guess. I think I'm a creative person, but I just refuse to put it towards anything productive. Ah, man. You gotta find some sort of outlet. Something just for you. Something that you enjoy. It's good for you. Like, I tried learning instruments several times, several different instruments. The farthest I got was like learning one song on like piano and like one song on mandolin. But I tried. Man, though, Vinny knows music stuff. I need to get him on to talk about music theory and stuff, and he's working on a BGM for me. And like, I went over one time so he could ask me some questions about like what I was thinking for the BGM and different things, and I only understood about like 25% of the words he was saying. My mind doesn't comprehend that, but his mind is very good at music stuff. Audiobooks are so nice. I love driving and listening to them. Oh yeah, definitely. That's the best way, especially nowadays. Love audiobooks. They are my go-to. Let's see. Let's see. At least you didn't get told all the good books were satanic. Yeah, no, my parents didn't like. Harry Potter is interesting because, like, I guess my mom and dad were pretty neutral on it. They weren't like, you can't read that, but they're also kind of like, about it. I read the first, I want to say 2 books at some point. When I was like 12 or something. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. But, okay, so I gotta tell you guys about Rachel Griffin in just a second. Let me catch up with chat. Let's see. Yeah, it's normal for newer forms of literature to be looked down upon you. One of my first experiences with Pippa was when she and Lumi watched Love on a Leash. Oh no. The one YouTube tried tentatively to shut down, decided it wasn't worth it apparently. Bruh, I remember trying to read stuff by Aldous Huxley, because of the name, lol, like Brave New World, and it was a miserable experience for my younger self. I've read Brave New World and 1984. I think I read Brave New World on like a little father-daughter camping trip. Man, it was so fun when you like binge read a book and then reality is weird for a little bit. It's so fun when you were like being able to do that. I can't read very fast, but man, like Vinny, for example, gosh, he can like inhale books so fast. He'll like read an entire book in like a night. I can't read that fast. Let's see. It's not the best, but Duolingo just made a music course. That's also a way of learning music. Oh, that's kind of fun. That's pretty neat. I didn't know that. I need to do my Japanese. The owl's gonna get me. That slop's been around for centuries when we think about it. Even tale of Jinji was self-insert fanfic from the 11th century. Humans never change. Hello there, Slick Dog G. Welcome. I definitely support whatever makes kids want to read. Yeah. The Satanic Panic was so silly. There's still a lot of people that don't like Pokemon. It's like, if Pokemon, I don't see how it can open up like devil, like, I don't know. I don't understand that argument because it's just a story. Like, yeah, I don't know. I maybe I'll look closer at that argument so I know how to rebuttal it better. Oh, I remember seeing Pippa clips and asked people what anime that's from. Man, you know what? 2016? Anime became real. We are on the anime timeline. This is where we are. I am an anime girl on the internet. It's wild, chat. Alright, let's see. I was gonna go, let's see. Pope St. John Paul II approved of Pokemon. There you go. Thank you, Milliardo. Thank you. A lot of Pokemon hate is based on interviews where subtitles were completely faked and he wasn't saying any of those things. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, it's really amusing to me being in Japan and seeing, like, instead of just Pokemon, you know, you'll have Pocket Monster, because, you know, that's, like, the translation. And I don't know. To me, it's really amusing. Anyway, I need to go back to Artemis Fowl. I love it, but I also have some beef. Minerva! My girl was done dirty! Still upset about it. First 3 books were so solid. And I don't know if it was confirmed, but it definitely seemed like he wrote that like trilogy and then they wanted more. And so, you know, he kind of, you know, worked the story, did some stuff. And I'm trying to remember the other books. The like time traveling, like, I guess they were demons. That's the one with Minerva. And it was like, they set up this character. They set her up. She was interesting, like, especially, you know, with Artemis and everything. And then she just disappeared. They dropped her off the face of the planet. Never mention her again. Who was Minerva? See? Like, she was in this one book. She was really interesting. They, like, set her up as a character that was gonna come back. And then she didn't. Which was really annoying. I'm trying to remember the Here, let me look up the books real quick so I can remember more properly each one of the books. I'm gonna go past 3 a.m. I just know it. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see. Alright, if the guy that saw Artemis Fowl in the chat, they changed the police chief. Like, okay, well, I'd seen the casting was a woman. Did she play the character as a man, or did they change it to a woman? Because then that kind of defeats Holly's whole arc of being, you know, one of the few female cops kind of takes that away from her. I don't know. I'm curious. I didn't look at the movie because I knew it was going to be trash. Let's see. I know he wrote another book. I didn't read it. My brothers read it. I know it had to do with like a guy escaping prison and like building wings or something. Let's see. Where's the list of books? I think I only read the first 3 to 4 books. Those ones were definitely the most solid. Let's see. I know Pokemon got hate for evolving, and people thought the badge requirements for high-level Pokemon meant that the badges were talisman used to control the monsters like demons. Yeah, that's a take. That's some sort of take. I think it was just a lot of confusion. And, like, the internet was much different back then, so you couldn't, like, get the information as well, I guess. Yeah, she was like the bad guy with the demon fairies or something. Yeah, Minerva. But then she also kind of flirted with Artemis. It was such an interesting dynamic, and then they just dropped her. Dante was the best author because he made an entire book about all the people he hated burning in hell, and all his heroes talked about how great he was. I need to read Dante. You know what? My brothers, they were like, what, 8? I think at least one of them was 8. However old they were. They read Dante with Dad. I need to read it. I haven't read it yet. Was it Lost Colony? Yeah, Lost Colony was the name. Let's see. They ruined her art. Okay, like, where's the list of books? Alright, Artemis Fowl, the Arctic Incident, and Eternity Code. All very solid. And then the Opal Deception. Because, like, Artemis, like at the end of the 3rd book, it kind of, like, closes it, where, you know, I think Artemis's, like, memories are taken away, and then they want to do more books, so then they gotta work a way to, like, get him back into everything. And there's the Opal Incident and Lost Colony. Those were all good. The Time Paradox got a little bit wonky. Especially with, like, Holly. They have this whole, like, arc with Holly, and Artemis and stuff, but it's like, where'd Minerva go? The Atlantis Complex, it was okay. The Last Guardian, I was really disappointed by the ending. Now, this is all going off of memory from, you know, a while ago now. But, and then the second cycle, I guess, the Fowl Twins and different things. I haven't read any of those. Butler was great. I thought his sister was really cool, too. She had, like, the wrestling experience. I love the story's great. But yeah. I went in on adventures with Artemis Fowl in my head all the time. As you do. I only read The Inferno because of the interesting themes. Oh, I got to read Purgatory. I gotta read Purgatory in Heaven sometime. You know what I need to read? I also highly recommend C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy. First one is Out of the Silent Planet, which is also a Iron Maiden song, which is fun. And then Paralangia. Gosh, how do you say that? Really cool book. I like that one. I remember reading some of it while I was walking around on Frankie. I was just like riding him around bareback and reading. And then the last one is That Hideous Strength, I think? Gosh, let me look this up. Oh man, I'm getting a little hungry now. Let's see, what were the 3 books? Out of the Silent Planet, Paralandria, and yeah, That Hideous Strength. I need to read That Hideous Strength. Like, there's somewhat... I don't know how to describe how they're connected. They're not, like, super connected like most trilogies, but they're connected in a way. But I need to read the last one. The other 2 are really good. I want to reread them sometime. Let's see. Time for me to go to bed. Haha. I hope you and your family have a great evening. Thanks for streaming. It's not really evening, it's 3 a.m. But thank you! Thanks for joining. I hope you have a great rest. People tend to forget those series existed, alas. Need to do some book streams where I'm like, hey, oh, going back, okay, speaking of books, I need to go back and talk about Rachel Griffin. Type them in chat here. Let me... Where's my thing? Let me copy and paste them in chat real quick. And and then I'm gonna talk about Rachel Griffin. And yeah, I have like different, well, one thing, I'm gonna do a stream on Atomic Habits. So if you feel like reading it, it's also an audiobook. Once I get my notes together, I'm gonna do a stream kind of talking about some of the main points. That one you could probably join without reading it. For any books, you know, maybe we'll read through the Space Trilogy together or something. You know, I'll let people know ahead of time, and then we'll do a stream talking about it. Oh, some G.K. Chesterton. Let me do some G.K. Chesterton. Let me see if I can just copy. Let me come over here a second. Alright, let me put this in chat real quick. Alright. I need to reread these ones. So maybe we'll do a Space Trilogy read-along. It'd be fun. But in turn, try any of Douglas Adams' books if you haven't. They're good. Because if I'm remembering right, he does, oh gosh, now I'm forgetting. The one big one. 42. You gotta know what I'm talking about. I saw the movie once. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I think I tried reading one of his other books at one point and didn't finish it. I forget which one it was. Hello, Wholesome Bread Lady. I noticed you were live and wanted to say hi before I go to bed. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome stream and night. Same to chat. Good night! Ishul the Dark Seth? Suref? Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I should get to bed soon. We'll see. Have you been following Pippa's book club at all? I haven't. I haven't kept up with which one she's reading. I'll try and look out for the next book and try and keep up with it. Alright, yeah, there's the books right there. I'll pin it for a minute. I haven't, there's certain books too, like, I didn't read all of the Narnia ones growing up. And I haven't read any of Redwall or Warriors or the Animorphs. But I'm looking forward to reading them to the kids. It'll be fun. It'll be really fun once the kids reach a point where they can, they'll sit for chapter books, because that's really fun, reading chapter books. Very good books. Haven't finished the fourth book, question mark. Hitchhikers. Oh man, my tummy is a little rumbly. Maybe I'll get a drink in a second. I got some coconut water. Alright, I should probably, let's see, what other point? Oh, Rachel Griffin. I'm just gonna go ahead and link it before I start talking. So, Rachel Griffin is by my very good friend. So Jaji Lamplighter. The first books from her I read were, Prospero's Children. The first one's Prospero Lost, and that one is about, if you know Prospero from Shakespeare, he was on an island with his daughter and had these tombs and stuff, and at the end he drowns his tombs, you know, his magic books or whatever, and so Jaji's story is, what if he didn't drown the tombs, and they have this way to, like, extend their life, and so now 500 years later, they're still around, he's got his children, and they basically kind of run contracts with the Fae to help keep the planet more stable so people can do science and stuff. So, like, the Fae are contractually bound to following certain rules and stuff. But then he goes missing, and so then Miranda has to gather up all her siblings. They have to go to hell, try and find their father. It's really good. Man, the ending hits so hard. It's, like, one of my favorite endings. Man, it's been a long time. I should definitely do a read-along of that trilogy, because it's good. It's been a long time. Really good. So, became a huge fan of Jaji from that. And then, this is how we became friends, because I emailed her, like, a fan letter, and then she responded, and she was like, oh, and by the way, would you like to read, the first book in my new series that's about to come out, Rachel Griffin? And I was like, ah! I screamed for half an hour, doing cartwheels. I was, like, 15. It was like, my favorite author has now offered me to be a beta reader, and I was like, now we're best friends. She's a great lover. I need to have her on stream soon. But, so Rachel Griffin started as a RPG campaign in the Harry Potter universe. You know, more or less, you know, magic school kind of universe. It's more very much into its own world and storyline. And they played this game for years, so she has this whole story that, you know, mostly happened in the game, and now, you know, she's taken and tweaked it and built it into, you know, her own universe and story and stuff. And so for me, since like nostalgia factor is kind of big with Harry Potter, Rachel Griffin is better than Harry Potter to me because I like it better. It's also really fascinating. It's really well written. The first book takes place in the first week of school. A lot happens. Characters are great. The universe is huge. There's so much. It's really good. It's really good. There's gonna be so many books. I think like 7 or 8 are out right now. We definitely need to do a read along here. Let me link it. It's good. It's really good. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. I think she's revamping, you know, she has an audiobook lady. I think they're revamping it a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it though, because it's great. Let's see. Oh, the first one here. Let me. The proper title of the first book is the Unexpected Enlightenment of Rachel Griffin. There we go. All right, let me link this. At some point, we're definitely doing a read along of this. I might go grab a drink. All right. I gotta do like a short link. Hang on. How do we do a short link? One second. There we go. I'll get Joshi on soon. Let me pin this one. Alright, I'll be like right back really quick. I'm gonna grab a drink. So 1 second, I'll be right back. But yeah, Joshi's been very busy with Rachel Griffin because she, you know, also has other things to take care of. She also has done a lot of work as an editor. She's very, like, her writing skills didn't come very naturally. Like, she worked really hard, a lot of practice, and she's also a very good editor. So she's got a really good like writing course as well, writing tips and things. But anyway, she's been really busy with Rachel Griffin because she's got so much story to write of it. And she does have like notes and sort of an outline for more in the Prospero's universe that she said at some point if me and her want to write it together, which would be really fun. Really, really fun. So I don't know. On my drive, I was kind of thinking about the different books I want to try and work on. I've got the 2 that I'm working on. I've got this other novel that's going to be a lot of research, and I need to make time to start researching different aspects. And then probably after that one, finally go to the one that I have like a book and a half written. That was like the main thing I was working on through my teens. That's like a trilogy. I don't know, just thinking about like all these, there's so many things I want to do. How do you fit it all in? How do you balance it all? Especially with busy family life. C.S. Lewis books, are they all sequels? They're, oh gosh, it's been a while. They're like, they're the Space Trilogy. I think, I can't remember if like it's the same character. It's not like connected in the same way as like a specific storyline. Gosh, I don't know how to explain it. They're more or less sequels to each other. I don't know how to explain it. I finished all 7 books in 9 days. My last reading test says I read 117 words per minute. Whew, wow. Let's see, which books were you reading? Which books were you reading, Leah? Leah, I think that's how you say it. Very good books. I haven't finished the 4th book. I forget what you were talking about. Let's see. Shared universe? Something like that? I think we'll just have to read it. We'll have to read it together, and we'll find out together. Have you read any of the Tarzan books? So actually, one really cool thing is LibriVox.com, also Gutenberg.com, is where you can find a whole lot of out of copyright books. And so on some of my members' streams where I was drawing, where it's like I'm kind of focusing on drawing, I'm not sure what to chat about, we started listening to Tarzan books. So we were listening to one. I found like a random one that I was listening to with members. I should go back to the descriptions to like link which one I was listening to so people can go back and listen to it. I love the Conan books though. I do. I remember one time we were moving into a house. I was getting it all cleaned up, and I got like a big collection of Conan stories, particularly like after he's become king and all this stuff. I really enjoy the Conan stories. I need to read some more of the Tarzan ones for sure. Also soon, I don't know if I'll do it once we're settled back in here and I get my schedule back up. If you like that kind of stuff, kind of pulp fiction, Kursova magazine just released their fall edition, so I've got that. So far when I've done reading streams, I've kind of like given little samples from each story. I haven't like gone through a whole story. I might try and pick like a full story to read through, or maybe just give some samples again. But the magazine's out, which is cool, so I want to promote it, and so we'll do another reading stream soon. Conan knows what's best in life. Yes. I love maybe I can see which collection it was, but I really liked when he was king. It was really interesting. I might need to get some more drink. There wasn't a whole lot of coconut water in here. I might need to get the other one. Alright, let's see. What other things did I want to talk about? Yeah, just trying to build better habits. Focus on the things I need to while I've got this time where I'm not just like hamster wheeling trying to keep up with the basic things so I can manage to like feed and take care of us. Because it's hard. It's so hard. Let's see. I was gonna look real quick. Man, I got a bunch of streams I want to do soon. So hopefully once we're settled in, we get back to streaming. But probably this week I'm not gonna have any schedule or set things. If I'm able to do a stream, I'll probably just hop on and do a stream. But otherwise we'll see. IDK, when exactly I started reading so fast. My first explicit confirmation was when I finished Gateway by Frederick Pohl, which had 354 pages if I remember correctly. I think it had 80,000 words in 3 days, and I was 9. I couldn't even read when I was that age. That's impressive. Yeah, I can read. I'm just slow. Yeah, for me, I talked about it a bit when I was streaming with Pippa. Of yeah, I probably got like some sort of dyslexia. It's really hard for me to sound out words. Like, you know, I figured it out though. Like it just took a while for my brain to kind of figure out how to figure it out. But I love reading. I love stories. I was trying to write things well before I could actually read. Yeah, I was like, this is also why I love audiobooks, because I listen to audiobooks all the time before I could really figure out how to like process the words like I needed to. But man, like starting when I was probably 7 or 8, I would sit there and try and write. I could not read or write. I was coming up with my own spelling. I knew how to like write letters, so that's about all I had to go on. And I'd probably only get like a paragraph or so at most. But I'd sit there and try and write. I had stories, just had to get them out. When I was, you know, it finally clicked better when I was 12. You know, I was really able to read. So I need to work on my reading out loud, which kind of, so hopefully my reading streams aren't too bad, because I'm not the most elegant at reading out loud. But then while I was 12, then that was when I really got the story going. My first novel that it's never going to be completed. I have like, you know, maybe like 40 pages of it I wrote. It's really interesting. I thought that might be a fun membership stream, because I think I have it written down somewhere around here if I dig up and read, like, the beginning of my first attempt at a novel, because I'm not going to do anything with it. But I'll probably do that as a members stream. Anyway, then when I was 14 was when I was like, okay, I really want to write. And so I started a different story that hopefully I'll finish at some point. Did a lot of short stories too. It was good. I used to get antsy if I went like a few days without writing. I'd get so antsy. Of course, nowadays it's like trying to carve out time to write. That's life. I want to work at it, but there's so many things I want to do. It's like, how do I balance? How do I prioritize like the different projects I want to do, but then also, you know, everything else I need to be doing. Don't worry, you'll have a lot of free time as the kids grow up, but I want more kids. I want more babies. So it's like how I like the idea of having them kind of paced out a bit, but then that also means that I'll spend quite a bit of time where I have like young kids. But I think it does get easier as the kids get older, and there's more of a rhythm and able hands in the house for keeping up with the house and such. Right now it's the trenches, and I realize that like it's been several years of like barely any writing. Like I have some stories I wrote like 3 years ago when Kiddo was younger that I'm like finally kind of going over again to kind of like clean up and such and try and get some new things written. So I knew it was gonna be this way, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine. That's why I was doing like a bunch of sourdough and stuff, because I'm like, you know, I can learn this kind of stuff while I've got kids kind of hanging off of me. Writing is hard because you really need to like get in the zone with it. Like I remember listening to Mary Mifweather one time, and he's like, man, sometimes I wish I was an artist, because then you could stream while, you know, doing your art stuff, or, you know, either be streaming it or listening to streams while doing artwork. But it's hard to do that with writing, because you really need to kind of get in the zone with it. And I need better habits for like getting my, like, I have a bad habit of when I sit down to like write or do something, I'll want to check like Facebook and Twitter first. You know, just, you know, it only takes a few minutes, but still, that's a few minutes that I could be using getting into, you know, the zone. Like I said, I need to pull up my notes on that Atomic Habits book, because they had a lot of good stuff, and I wanna implement some of it. Let's see. German, who speaks that horrible language? German name. Oh, German, talking about that. Yeah, that looked like a German thing. Oh, have you guys seen that one couple? It's a Vietnamese woman and her German boyfriend, German fiance now. It's really cute. They have such a cute little channel. That's what stopped me from writing. People need me for stuff all the time when I'm not at work. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Probably why I'm a night owl, because even though like I wasn't needed for anything most of the time, like growing up, like I had my chores and stuff, my brothers would interrupt me a lot. You know, they like, again, like I mentioned on the Pippa stream, they'd just like walk in my room to use my giant mirror to flex whatever like crazy outfit or armor thing they came up with. So I'd end up staying up really late when everything was quiet, and I could just like, you know, lock in, do a bunch of writing. But yeah, it's hard. I don't know. I need to get better at like my habit and my process for getting in the zone. Like do something that kind of helps my brain be like, all right, writing time, to get into it quicker. That's also why I'm kind of like, maybe I should do certain weeks where I'm focusing on different things, because I feel like I can get more done if my brain's kind of focusing on one thing instead of trying to switch things on different days. So I might try that. Probably when I get back. Or maybe while I'm here. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that while I'm here, visiting with family. It has been really nice having ability to have the extra hands and the time and everything. Because they'll be like, I tried to kind of set my week where it's like certain days, you know, we're busy with certain things, and other days, like certain days are outing days, other days are like, we don't have stuff in the morning, so I'll use the morning to like, you know, hop over to the other house to write. But I also want to work with Chica. I'm inspired again to like want to work with her more. There's too many things to do, chat. There's too many things I want to do. How do I do them all? In my case with writing, I can concentrate a little bit, burn out trying to focus, force the details, and usually use Eureka moments lying in bed or while pooping. Writing is a skill. It's hard to do. It's definitely a skill. There's like a certain amount of just putting words on paper you need to do. Sometimes, like Jaji, it's funny. Jaji, she has a harder time, or it doesn't come as naturally for her writing dialogue and sort of the feelings behind dialogue. And so sometimes you just kind of need to put a placeholder or something, get the rest out, and then go back to it. So I think that's what she does. She'll kind of put like the bones in it and other stuff that she's already got in her head, or things that she knows she, can work on. She'll do that, and then she'll, come back around to finish filling out that scene. But I think I've got my one series of short stories that were like, I think it was like one based off of all, each story was based off of the planet. And that was a really good exercise in time of developing my own process of how to come up with an idea and write a story and develop it and everything. Of my own process of like, how do you take an idea, how do you kind of poke it and process it and mold it to fill out a whole story, and then how do you write that story? So that really helped hone in my writing process. So short stories are really good for practicing your writing, because it helps you from getting lost in like this whole big world and this whole big story, because it's much harder to write a good condensed story. It's easy to kind of let it go and get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's hard to really hone in how, like, good short stories. Flannery O'Connor was really good at short stories. Helps you with your writing process of how to mold your ideas into stories and stuff. Look to Pippa for inspiration. Can always be inspired by Mama Pippa. Okay, let's see. Ah, my goodness. When did it become 2:30 or 3:30? Okay. Let me see if there's any more topics I wanted to touch on. I think that was most of it. I think I covered most of it, so I should probably... I won't leave right away. I'll look for a raid, see if anyone's around. The enemy of art is the abstract of limitations. Orson Welles. Enemy of art, the... Oh, absence. Oh, sorry. Absence. That makes sense. Yes, man. Yeah, it's funny how that works. When you have certain limitations, it really helps. Like in dance, I remember we did like an exercise in like modern where it was like you go across the floor doing whatever movements, but then one time going across the floor, you can't go above like waist level, or you have to have this one hand on the floor the whole time, or this one leg on the floor the whole time, and it really makes you creative when you have to work around a limitation. Definitely helps. And yeah, it just helps you be more concise with your words. I think there's a lot of stories that are considered like the classics or like literature that they're being paid by the word count, so kind of affected a bit. Let's see, anything else here? Let me look for a raid while I'm wrapping up, and then I need to make myself go to bed. But I don't know, just musing on things, how different things I want to improve or work on, habits I want to form, projects I want to work on. Just wanting to... It's nice. It feels like a reset in motherhood, where it's like I can enjoy just focusing on me and the boys, enjoying time with them and everything, working on the habits that I want to build without feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. It's been really nice. So I got some more time. It's nice. Let's see. Where's my YouTube? Yeah. Is there anyone streaming right now? Let's see. I'm gonna do music. I'm gonna do more. I have some voice recordings that I need to make into little music videos, like I did that the one cover of what's it, that Billie Eilish song. Let's see. Anyone streaming? There's Tanya's streaming. Study with me. She does a lot of studies with, or I've gone to some of her studies with me before. Tanya's great. Love Tanya. It's hard. I kind of want to do like writing streams, except they'd be really boring because it's so hard. Because like again, you want to be like locked in. But maybe if I do a writing stream where I like don't talk, maybe I'll set timers for when I'll look at chat, where I just have the pressure of people watching me so that I'm less inclined to like get distracted. I don't know. I don't know if that will work. Maybe I'll try it sometime. Smiled on. Let's go. Smile. What are you talking about, Milliardo? Got the book on PDF. Oh wait, hang on. Got the book on PDF. We'll read before bed. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, yeah. Go for it. Let's see. Oh, Tanya is a Smilodon. Oh, yeah. Because she's a saber-toothed tiger. Yeah. Tanya love. All right, we will raid Tanya then. I better make myself go to bed. So, I'm looking forward to it was very fun visiting other family. Now it's time to settle back in with my crazy family. Man, I gotta get all my siblings on stream. I can't wait to do that. Oh, and gotta get Dad on stream! I'm gonna do a Q&A with Dad as soon as we're settled back in. It's gonna be so fun. And then I get Mom on stream, just get everyone back on stream. But there's also the balance of like, it's fun, the internet's also really scary. And I'm always a little paranoid about it. And it's like, I don't want to cross the line of like feeling like doing the streams with the family is like more focused on the content than doing the fun stuff. I don't know. It's also kind of fun capturing for the future, like doing little streams together with my family, because then I can look back on it. So that's kind of fun. That's kind of how I see it. All right, I think our raid is set up. Let me double check. Yep, raid set up. All right. I think that will be all for now. I'm not sure when I'll stream. Like I said, I'm not gonna have any expectations for stream this week while I'm getting a little dough baby weaned. But hopefully we'll be settled back in soon and ready for some more streams because I have lots of ideas. Lots of ideas. It'll be really fun. All right, let's see here. All right, well, I think that's all. So good night, Milliardo. I love you. Good night, chat. You guys are cool too. I hope everyone has great sleep. And until next time, stay fresh, my friends.